What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 30, and we start today's episode off with Lazaro coming to us and saying, will you pick me in this game against Empoli, please? And I did put him on the bench for this game, but taking on Empoli, of course, here at the Stadio Olimpico de Torino, our last game at home did finish as a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. That was the last game of the last episode as well, which finished a 1-1 draw against Chelsea, and the previous game at home finished as a 2-1 defeat to Genoa, our first ever defeat at home. So coming into this game, although Empoli currently sitting in the relegation zone, I didn't want to make too many changes to my usual first 11 because I really felt as though we need to get ourselves our first win at home in the last couple of games. So we do take on Empoli for the first game of today's episode here, and the first chance would fall to us in the 4th minute as Immobile comes forward to shoot her, eventually gets blocked, but it comes to Çalhanoğlu, takes it around Mario Rui, who takes him down once he gets past him from behind. The referee gives a penalty to Torino 5 minutes in and also sends off Mario Rui, and the away side are down to 10 men inside the opening 6 minutes. And I have to say, it was a penalty. I'm certainly not going to deny that, but is it a straight red card? I mean, it's a bad challenge. It is from behind. You can totally see why the referee would give a red card there, but I think a booking would have sufficed, to be honest. That's just me, I'm trying to be fair there. I think that would have been at least a booking in my opinion, but probably just a booking at that if I was reffing the game. Regardless, it was given as a red card, so Empoli down to 10 men very, very early on. The worst possible start for a side currently in the relegation zone, taking on top of the table Torino. And from the penalty, we would score it as well. Alberto Poloski gets his first goal in quite a few games. That's a really relieving sight as well, because the Punisher this season has not really been punishing too many opposition defences. Hasn't had the best of starts to his Torino season. It's only his 3rd goal in the Serie A, and when you consider the fact he got 27 goals last season in 37 games, it's not been the best of starts for our number 9. So glad to see him hit the back of the net for a 3rd time. Hopefully he's going to start to kick on now, and we know it's going to take a while. Obviously we know he's not going to be scoring as many goals as he did last season. I don't think he was ever going to do that, but even so, I was hoping that he'd get off to a good start this season. Instead, that's just his 3rd goal. He needs to start kicking on. Still, Torino 1, Empoli 0. He scores from the penalty, and from the kickoff, Empoli had a chance to equalise with a shot in wide of the post. And in the 11th minute here, a great chance to make it 2-0 as Çalhanoğlu plays a 1-2 with Danilo. Our Turkish midfielder spreads the play out wide towards Nikola Muru, down the left-hand side, inside back to Benassi. Quick little back heel towards our number 7 there, as we keep the ball keep hold of the ball and try and frustrate the away side. Danilo goes down the right-hand side, plays the ball through the legs of the defender and wins it back, not intentionally. Eventually comes to Poloski. His shot is blocked, but it comes to Gabbiadini inside the area, finesses the ball into the corner and makes it Torino 2, Empoli 0. So thought it was a pretty nice passing move. Got a little bit lucky towards the end. There were 2 shots, both getting deflected and tackled as well, but it falls to Gabbiadini, keeps himself in the fray, finesses the ball into the corner and makes it Torino 2, Empoli 0, and gets his 1st goal in the Serie A this season. So Torino 2, Empoli 0. And in the 20th minute, Çalhanoğlu wins the ball back here from a throw-in, slides it through towards Poloski. Great chance to make it 3-0, and we do as well. The Punisher finds the back of the net for the 2nd time in the game. That's his 1st brace of the season as well. He hit 3 braces, I think it was, last season. That's his 1st one this season, and it comes inside the opening 25 minutes as well. Nice little ball through by Çalhanoğlu and a great finish by Poloski, showing that he can finish when he needs to, and makes it Torino 3, Empoli 0. And in the 29th minute, a great chance to make it 4-0 here. Çalhanoğlu spreads the ball out wide towards Nikola Muru as we retain possession, try and frustrate Empoli. Of course, they're down to 10 men. Now we're trying to spread the ball from right to left, left to right, try and tire them out basically. And I thought this was a really nice goal as well, because Danilo plays the ball long, picks out Immobile, flicks it on towards Gabbiadini, and he gets his 2nd goal of the game. So 2 players on braces already in the opening 32 minutes, Poloski and of course Gabbiadini as well. And yeah, I thought it was a really nice goal there. Lovely ball through, cushioned down by Immobile, and a great finish by Gabbiadini on the half volley into the bottom corner. No chance for the goalkeeper. Torino 4, Empoli 0, and the 10 men of Empoli, just weren't being able to defend at all. And you can't really blame them. They're in the relegation zone, coming away from home. Yes, we haven't won in our previous 2 home games, but even so, they did not get off to a good start, and they were not looking good at all. So 4-0 to Torino. In the 45th minute, they did have a good chance to get themselves back in the game here, as we failed to get the ball away with Benassi, but the shot hits the post, and eventually we clear the ball away. So they almost scored there to make it 4-1, but it was still 4-0 going into the break. And 7 minutes after the restart, a great chance to make it 5-0. Immobile finds Muru. He's tackled, but wins it back here, our left back. Keeps hold of the ball, waits for Çalhanoğlu to run, picks him out, and the Turkish midfielder makes it Torino 5, Empoli 0. So he was having a pretty solid game, our number 7. He gets a goal here as well to make it 5-0 to Torino. And you just had to feel sorry for the 10 men of Empoli, because again, was it a red card? Maybe you could argue it was a red card, but I didn't think so personally. I thought a booking would have sufficed, and because of that, it just became pretty routine for me, really. So Torino 5, Empoli 0. Çalhanoğlu's 5th goal in a Torino shirt since joining for us, and it's 5-0 to the home side. And in the 58th minute, Empoli went in search of nothing other than the consolation goals. They worked the ball down the left-hand side here. Eventually, it's whipped into the box with a quick little cross into the centre. The header comes in, but it goes onto the roof of the net and behind for a goal kick as Bernie wasn't really threatened. So still Torino 5, Empoli 0. And again, you just had to feel sorry for them because they were trying. They were really trying. They weren't playing damage limitation. They were going forward, but they just did not look comfortable at all. And defensively, they were just a complete wreck, to be honest. Losing a player early on, of course, completely disorganised them, and they just didn't really know what they were doing at the back. And as you can see, they gave away a second penalty in this game as well in the 78th minute. It wasn't another red card, instead it was a booking for Michel Sommer, the number 50 for Empoli. And as you can see, just like the first penalty, there weren't really many complaints, and you can't really argue with a poor challenge from behind on Poloski. So great chance to make it 6-0 from the spot. Empoli not really defending very well in this game, as you could probably predict after going down to 10 men early on. And a great chance to make it 6-0 from the spot here as Damian comes on. It is going to be Poloski again who will stand up and take it. And for a guy who scored 27 goals last season, having a pretty subpar start to this season by his standards, really, no doubt about that. He has a great chance to score his first hat-trick of the new season here in a Torino shirt. It's Poloski against Bassi, same corner, same result, Torino 6, Empoli 0, and it is great to see Poloski get his first hat-trick of the season. And I really do hope now he's going to start to kick on, because I know I said at the start of the season when Immobile came in that I hope they'll share the goals, but Poloski had only scored 2 goals before coming into this game. Now he gets his 5th of the season in the Serie A. That's really, really crucial, because I need him to start scoring again and look like the type of striker he was last season if we do want to go on to win this title. Still, the final chance fell there, but the header went over the bar, and it was how the game would finish. Torino 6, Empoli 0. So great to get a clean sheet, great to get a solid win, but again, I will say it was made pretty easy for us right from the first 5 minutes when they went down to 10 men and conceded a penalty. And again, was it a red card? Not too sure. Maybe you guys should let me know in the comments whether you would have sent him off or not. You can definitely see why it was given a red card, but I personally thought a booking would have sufficed. Regardless of 6-0 victory, it's our biggest win of the series so far, so delighted with that, and the first time we scored 6 or more goals in a game, so very, very happy with that. Still following out, we had a couple of international friendlies with Italy as well, and I thought I'd show you the group table right here. As you can see, they've already qualified for the Euros. I briefly mentioned that in the last episode, or possibly the one before that, so there's no more qualifiers to play, just friendlies between now and the end of the season before Euro 2016, and yeah, Italy will be playing in that competition. And as I mentioned before, if this is the first career mode of mine you've watched, I don't play friendlies, I don't play qualifiers, I simulate them, but I do play the competitions at the end of the season, so there you go. So as you can see, we beat Portugal in the first friendly, as it was my debut managing Italy, but of course just simulating the game, so delighted with that. And then we took on New Zealand for the second game, and as you can see, Immobile just went off in this game against New Zealand and ended up scoring 5 goals in a single game, so I'd love to see him do that in a Torino shirt. Regardless, the game finished 6-0 to Italy, not a real surprise, and we make it 2 wins from 2 as we start off managing the nation. And again, it will just be the tournaments we'll play, not the qualifiers or friendlies. So if you're worried that international management isn't really your thing, you don't want to see me playing for the country too many times, don't worry, it'll just be the tournaments at the end of the season. Still following out, we take on Lazio for the second and final game of today's episode here as we travel to the Stadio Olimpico to take on Lazio. On the back of that fantastic 6-0 victory against Empoli, looking to get another similar result here, but Lazio are of course a very decent side. But the first chance would fall to us though in the 9th minute. Danilo goes down the right hand side and crosses the ball in. It's not fully dealt with, and eventually it comes to Baselli, who strikes it and ends up canning in his shot off the post, and Lazio clear. So still 0-0 with the first chance coming to us. Candreva then had a quick little chance there for Lazio, but the shot goes wide of the post and behind, so still 0-0. Both sides looking good early on though. Not much really happened then until the second half, and 7 minutes after the restart, Shalanoglu finds Poloski, scored a hat-trick against Empoli and had a great chance to score here, but the goalkeeper makes a really good save and turns it behind for a throw. So still Lazio 0, Torino 0, and another good chance for Lazio just past the hour mark here. Candreva gets on the ball, finds Billy on the edge of the area who shoots, and Bernie gets the ball away for a corner and keeps it goalless. So still 0-0, but both sides looking pretty good, but it was still goalless. In the 68th minute though, a great chance for Lazio to open the scoring as Radu goes down left hand side. The Romanian takes it around Damian, whips in across, Djordjevic ends up hitting the bar, but it falls to Candreva, and he half volleys the ball past Bernie and into the back of the net as he sneaks the ball in at the near post and makes it Lazio 1, Torino 0. So he was looking good all game, Candreva, down the right hand side, and I'm not really surprised he did open the scoring for Lazio. He was looking like their most threatening player, and as the cross came in from Radu there, Djordjevic ends up hitting the bar, it falls to Kandreva, and I had Maximovic getting back and Bernie as well, trying to get the ball away, but I think he was always going to score that one. Pretty simple finish for him, and the number 87 does make it Lazio 1, Torino 0. In the 90th minute, it was still 1-0 to Lazio here at the Stadio Olimpico. Just couldn't get myself back in the game, really, and sadly for us, well, we did concede a penalty in stoppage time as well. The game was pretty much coming to its close. It was probably going to finish Lazio 1, Torino 0, but sadly for us, it was now probably going to finish 2-0 as we gave away a penalty. But we won 2 penalties against Empoli, and both of them I felt were right decisions. But, you know, where is the challenge there? I don't even know what the penalty was given for and who it was on. But a penalty to Lazio, I don't really know what it was given for, but a penalty to Lazio anyway. We'll just say fair enough because you won 2 in the last game. So penalty to Lazio. Kandreva stood up to take it, chipped it down the middle. I dived to Bernie's left, and sadly for us, Kandreva gets his second goal of the game and does make it 2-0. He was playing very well, so I guess he deserved another goal because he was their best player, but even so, frustrated to see it be a penalty, which I couldn't really see where the infraction came from, and Lazio do get themselves the second goal of the game. So the final score was Lazio 2, Torino 0. Disappointed to lose, you know, on the back of that fantastic win against Empoli by 6-0 away at the Stadio Olimpico, but Kandreva did play very well in fairness. The team played pretty well in fairness, and in the end, we have to see our second defeat in the league this year away at the Stadio Olimpico, but regardless, it's not too bad a result. Lazio are a pretty decent side, and we'll just have to look to bounce back in the next game, in the next episode. But that does end the episode, guys, so as always, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of my new career mode, then please do leave a like. It's much appreciated, and of course it really does help my channel out. You don't have to leave a like if you don't want to, and I'll see you for the next episode of my new career mode very soon.